presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Nice shutout win for the Angels last night, taking the opener of this four-game series against the Houston Astros. Tonight from downtown Houston, it is Game 2 against the Astros, who are looking for a playoff bid. We welcome you inside Minute Maid Park and back to Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. Now, of course, the offense yesterday was stymied a little bit by Mike Fiers, but he did make one mistake early. It was in the first inning, and Albert Pujols certainly capitalized.
Well, Victor, he does as usual here against the Houston Astros. Take a look at our Carl's Cam replay in the first inning with Mike Trout on base. Albert Pujols gets a pitch on the inner half of the plate and crushed that ball at his 53rd career home run against the Astros. Getting that foot down, got that bat head out in front of the plate and drove it out to left field. Another perfect swing for Albert against the Astros. Mentioned a 53 career home runs. Also, 1,814th RBI in his career, passing the Hall of Famer Frank Robinson for 20th on the all-time RBI list. So big night for Albert, big night for the Astros. Ricky Nolasco, very solid last night also, as the Angels finally figured out a way to beat the Astros.
Yeah, just a second victory of the season against the Astros. First one here in Houston. We'll see if they can make it 2 in a row. We're going to step away for a moment. When we return to Minute Maid, we're going to talk a little bit about Cole Calhoun. He is back in the lineup tonight. Astros, Cole Calhoun back in the lineup tonight after missing 4 games, partly 4 games because of the birth of his son. Congratulations to the Calhoun family, but it's good to see him back in the starting lineup.
Especially when you think about a left-handed batter against Doug Fister. Batters hitting .312 from the left side, and Cole Calhoun, take a look at our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks against Fister. Got a fastball. Anytime you can elevate that little sinker, bring it out over the plate, Cole able to hit that one back in May against Fister. He's allowed 18 home runs against left-handed batters this year. Cole Calhoun with one of those 18. Hopefully he'll be able to do so again tonight.
Halos trying to pick up the victory for the second consecutive night. We're just about ready for baseball here in the Lone Star State. Sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return.
Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Buy Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Brewhouse Bacon Burger today for limited time only at participating restaurants. Buy your Southern California Toyota dealers. Buy Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And buy the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon.
We welcome you back to Houston, Texas. Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Halos and the Houston Astros. And we begin play today with the Astros really on a no chance of winning the American League West. They would have to win out, and Texas would have to lose every game the rest of the way. And so Texas will more than likely win that Western Division. But the wild card, a little different story, and it's a little bit of a mix too, especially with Detroit having swept the doubleheader from the Minnesota Twins last night. They jump into that number 2 wild card spot. Baltimore half game back, currently trailing the Arizona Diamondbacks. Got the Astros at game and a half back. Seattle 2 back, and then the New York Yankees currently at 3. So it'll be interesting this week, not only in the American League, but also in the National League. And so the Angels continue to try to play spoiler. This is the lineup that Mike Scioscia will run out there to try to take game 2 from the Astros. Game number 154 for the Halos, and Yunel Escobar will lead things off at third base. Cole Calhoun back in that familiar number 2 spot. He's in right, Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at DH, currently 591 career home runs. C.J. Cron at first, Andrelton Simmons at short. Nick Buss, the starter in left. Carlos Perez once again behind the plate. And Cliff Pennington tonight batting ninth, playing second base. They are taking on a 32-year-old right-hander. He's a veteran, signing a 1-year deal. He's from Merced, California, and his name is Doug Fister.
Yeah, 12-12 on the season for Fister. My go-to is to be successful against Fister is elevate that sinker and lefty success. Lefty's hitting .312 against him this season, including 18 home runs. That sinker, when it's down in the zone, will get a lot of ground ball outs, elevate it, and then drive it.
The Angels last night managing just 5 hits, the Astros with 8. And they made the 1 count that Albert hit, the 2-run blast in the first inning.
Nice job overall by the staff. With Nolasco going 7 shutout, J.C. Ramirez a shutout 8th, and then Andrew Bailey, of course, picking up his 5th save.
That's the 12th shutout of the season for the Angels. You know who leads the American League in that category? The Angels with 12 shutouts.
Now Escobar ready to lead things off. First one is off the plate for ball 1. Escobar prior to that first pitch telling Marwin Gonzalez to play further to his right, and Marwin actually moved over a couple of steps. Bounce to the left side. Gurriel has it. 1 down. Take a look at the Astros defensively tonight. And, very similar to what we saw last night. The only change really in center field. Kemp in left, Hernandez tonight at center, Springer at right, Gurriel, Correa, Altuve, and Gonzalez from third to first, and Castro behind the plate.
And Springer with 12 outfield assists and 2 errors this season has improved each and every year in that right field position. Doubled up as far as assists from 2014 and 2015, and has cut back on the errors. He's made a couple outstanding plays going over the wall also this season.
Cole comes in batting .262 with 17 home runs and 68 RBIs. Got a pinch hit opportunity last night and struck out his last start, of course, last Sunday. As he cut through that one, even to count at 1-1.
Pretty good swing at that one for Cole. He was looking to do some damage.
Upstairs to the fastball with the 1-2. And we'll see which Doug Fister shows up. Now, you go back a couple of years, he's thrown the ball fairly well against the Angels since I guess 2011 or thereabouts. But this month of September, actually from the All-Star break on this year, he has really struggled in ERA over 5.
Yeah, it's elevated a lot of pitches.
In September, he's 0-3 with a 12 ERA. That one's upstairs. He's allowed 24 runs in 16 2/3 innings this month. This is hit into the shift. That's Correa, the shortstop. 2 down.
And my Hyundai key tonight for the Angels to be successful against Fister and the Astros. A little Led Zeppelin over the hills and far away. Cows Hill, center field, looking for some big flies. Fister has given up 23 home runs this season. Mentioned 18 against left-handed batters, 5 against right-handed batters.
So 2 outs. And here's Trout. Mike hitting .316 with 28 home runs and 95 runs batted in. Last night ended up going 0-for-3 with 3 strikeouts. Did have a walk and scored a run. Three balls, no strikes. Takes a strike on the corner.
That's the type of pitch that will run back on the inner part of the plate for Trout. He can drive out to left field.
Gurriel has this one. And a 1-2-3 inning for Doug Fister. All 3 ground ball outs. We'll head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. And the Houston Astros are currently 81-72 on this season. This is the lineup that A.J. Hinch will run out for game number 154. Springer leading things off at right. Gurriel at third base. Jose Altuve, probably perhaps a leading candidate for the American League MVP. He's at second. Carlos Correa at shortstop. Evan Gattis at DH. Marwin Gonzalez at first. Tony Kemp at left. Jason Castro behind the plate. And you have Teoscar Hernandez batting ninth and playing center field. Taking on Alex Myers, making his 5th appearance with the Angels. Currently 1-2 with a 3.65 ERA coming off his first win.
Yeah, he threw the ball very well in 5 shutout innings. My go-tos for Meyer to be successful against this Astro club. Keep those speed guys off the base and repeat deliveries. That's the one thing in that front shoulder. It's been really good as far as his break ball and changeup. The fastball, that shoulder at time, front shoulder, flies open and elevates the fastball.
No balls, 2 strikes. Springer at 251 with 28 home runs, 78 RBIs. Went for 3 game last night with a walk. Meyer makes quick work of George Springer, 1 away.
That's a great fastball. Back-to-back great fastballs.
Defensively for the Halos, Buss and left, Trout at center, Calhoun in right, Escobar and Simmons on the left side of the infield, Pennington and Crone on the right. Carlos Perez, how about that? 5 straight games behind the dish.
Nick Buss out in left field. 19th start in left field. He has 1 outfield assist. Very difficult left field here in Houston. So he's a guy that's very versatile as far as getting to baseballs. He's played all 3 outfield positions throughout his career.
Two balls, no strikes on Yuli Gurriel, third baseman.
It's a pretty good life on his fastball for Meyer. 95, 96, 97. A little late movement. Trying to keep and maintain balance over the pitching rubber.
This one's lifted out towards center. Not very deep. Trout has to come in on it. 2 down. Well, one thing that stood out for Alex in his last start, the fact that he really was under control, especially with the breaking ball from the stretch. Everything seemed to work fine. So far, 2 batters, granted it's a small sample size. Looks very confident. Looks like he's trying to slow things down from the full windup.
Yeah, and you look at those numbers he had on that start against Toronto. A very good offense, 7 punch-outs and 5 shutout innings. I think it was when he come down, I had a conversation when he had a nice bullpen session in between starts before that one in Toronto with Charles Nagy to say, just relax out there, stay a little bit longer over the pitching rubber. As you can see right there, he's really being conscious of staying over that pitching rubber a little bit longer to maintain his mechanics. See that balance and good drive towards the plate. Very long stride. Very important for him to be able to have balance. Especially when you have that long of a stride, if you're flying wide open quickly, you're going to drift over towards that first base side of the pitching mound, and then all of a sudden that arm drags and gives the hitter a longer opportunity to see the baseball out of your hand.
Chopper to the right side. Crone will feed Meyer. Better hurry. That big stride. He beats Altuve, and the Astros are down in order. We head to the second with no score.
crisp Coors Light for last night. The Angels had lost 11 straight to the Astros, second longest single season streak in Angels history. The only other time with a longer one, 12 straight losses to the Royals back in 1975. Your dad on that team.
That's right. Dominating with a hit and run and bunts. All 5'10" of them.
Playing little ball, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Listed at 5'10".
Yes.
Albert reaching and pulling this one down the left field line, and that is just foul. Third base umpire James Hoy making the call.
James Hoy got right down the line to get a good view with this baseball. It looked like it got the line. I think Mike Scioscia's going to check that. We had a play earlier this year, the same thing. We hit off that foul line right off the wall. Yeah, there's no doubt that ball looked like it hit.
Yeah, all it's got to do is just touch it.
It's certainly worth to take a look at right here. You see, slow it down here. Baseball right off the yellow.
Yeah, you're right. That's a double. Should be a double.
Yep. Should be Albert's 18th double this season. 601st of his career. Right away, Mike Scioscia asking Dino Evil, who called in, to Steve Solis. No hesitation there at all. Should be a pretty quick call.
That's not an easy call for any umpire.
No.
It really isn't. This is an Angels challenge. Just because of the angle in which that ball is coming in. I mean, we're the beneficiary of a camera angle that is in fair territory, shooting at that angle. I mean, you're on the line, a little different look. We think it's a fair ball. It should get overturned. We'll see what they decide.
It seemed like it's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, when you play it in real speed, it looks foul.
Yep.
Taking a long time.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's a foul ball, and the Angels challenging it. And he is going to be awarded second base. It'll be a double for Albert, a leadoff double. As you mentioned, 601st of his career. That ties him with Barry Bonds for 15th all time.
Albert likes those kind of doubles where he can cruise into that second base. Tying Barry Bonds, 2 behind Cal Ripken Jr., 3 behind Paul White. For all-time lists for Albert Pujols, every list he's been up there and going by some amazing names in baseball history. A bit of a dent to that baseball on that line.
C.J. Cron hitting .273 with 16 home runs, 65 driven home. He'll shoot this one out to the alley in right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. It'll short hop the fence. Albert will come in to score easily. Cron to second, and the Angels with a 1-0 lead here in the second inning.
The Angels ordered a double-double to score a run here in the second. Mister had to wait some time before he was able to deliver this next pitch, and C.J. Cron ready to roll and hits that ball hard the other way, picking up his 20th double. One hops the ball in right center field.
This one back toward the middle. Correa to his left has it. A nice play, retiring Anderson Simmons. Cron advancing to third.
Yeah, good read right off the bat by C.J. Cron to be able to advance anytime it's going to be to the left of you. Ball hit well, and this infield is extremely fast. Not quite as quick as it was we saw down in Arlington. But Correa, nice play. Infield in already.
Nick Buss fouling off the first offer, getting to start in left tonight. 211 average, 6 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 6 RBIs.
Pretty surprised, though, with the infield in this early in the game, especially the way this offense has performed this season. Better opportunity to be able to get a run across. Infield in. Ball has to be hit right at you to be able to make a play.
Product, perhaps, of the struggles that Fister's had in the second half?
Well, you would think, though, because he's elevated a lot more pitches because of what he's has struggled with in the second half, you'd be better off putting that infield back to stay away from a big inning, though. Infield in, better chance to have a big inning going against him.
And conversely, you're facing a guy that virtually no experience at the major league level.
And going to be a pitch
inning.
count. It's going to get maybe 5 or 6 innings in. And it's a second inning.
One, two, and that'll bring home a run. Springer over to make the catch. No, it's over his glove. Took a wrong angle, and Buss will end up at second base with an RBI double.
Yeah, you wonder if he was kind of looking up to see if he might have a shot at a throw, but the angle he was taking was going to be almost impossible for him to throw at. TJ Crone off the end of the bat, breaks the bat, but instead of going sideways, more lateral for that baseball, he came in on the baseball and then realized he had to jump up to try to make the play. Could not do so. 3 doubles in this inning for the Angels.
Buss picks up his 7th RBI.
7th double.
Here's Carlos Perez, a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Carlos went hitless last night. 208 now in the season with 5 home runs and 29 runs batted in. A 2-0 Angels lead here in the second. This is pulled toward third and gloved on the backhand by Gurriel. Oh, nice play by the veteran third baseman. Veteran in that he's 32 years old.
He's showing a pretty good arm too at third base. Well, Nick Buss has 16 hits so far this year for the Angels. 9 of them have been for extra base hits. Home run, a triple, and 7 doubles for Nick Buss.
So 2 outs. And here's Cliff Pennington, starting second baseman, takes outside. Matter of fact, all 5 outs that Fister has recorded tonight have been via the ground ball so far.
And when he's elevated a pitch, it's been hit hard in the air. Cliff Pennington with his son's Little League team here today. We were out here earlier for batting practice.
He's from Corpus Christi, at the Texas A&M, not too far away from here. He'll bounce this one toward first. That's a fair ball. Gonzalez will take it himself. And the Angels are done here in the second, but they scored twice on 3 doubles. They have a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. 3 doubles in the top of the second as we begin the bottom of this second inning. A reminder to get your red on in 2017 and receive special benefits and great ticket prices by becoming an Angels season seat holder. Call 888-796-HALO or go to angels.com for details. Pujols, Crone, and Buss with the doubles.
That'll make you uncomfortable at the plate.
Just a little bit inside on Correa.
See where Carlos Perez is set up. Marvin Hudson didn't move a whole lot.
Marvin Hudson didn't have a choice. That ball was by him before he realized what happened.
And he's just thankful that baseball didn't get him. If you're at the plate right there, you're thinking, how did he paint the outside corner after the pitch before almost hit me? Missed by so much. That's we talk about repeating mechanics for Alex Meyer. And what a pitch that was again at 95. Now that was excellent location for Meyer.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Correa. Breaking ball just off the plate. It's a great pitch. After throwing that fastball.
I don't know how he took it.
Exactly. Evan Gattis on deck. 2-2. Big sweeper there.
That's a little bit more so as far as overthrown on that breaking ball.
Punched out to right field. Cole racing back. He'll pull up, and this one's off the wall. Correa's racing towards second. The throw from Calhoun is not in time. A double for Carlos Correa, his 35th of the season. What a heck of a throw by Cole.
Boy, did he play that perfectly off the wall. The reigning Gold Glove winner in the American League in right field. Right off the wall, fields it quickly in a firm throw. In the second, and a quick tag by Simmons. Correa just got that foot in. If he's not going right away on this and thinking in terms of he's going to get a double, if he's just thinking it's a home run, he's going to be out at second. Especially with that throw from Cole, slides in, avoids the tag, goes to the inside part of the base to avoid that tag from Simmons.
Here's Evan Gattis at DH. Takes a breaking ball for a strike.
It's pretty good at bat for Correa. First pitch way off the plate inside, a couple fastballs away, a couple breaking balls laid off, and then lines that one off the wall the other way on a fastball.
Dribbling that hit Gattis, so it's a foul ball. Cal remains with no balls, 2 strikes.
Saw that a couple times last night. Escobar hit a foul ball off his stomach when it hit the ground. Albert Pujols the same. And it goes to Gattis.
Nice block by Carlos. Correa will take third as Carlos could not find it. It's a wild pitch.
And he blocked it very well, but could not track the baseball after it hit the dirt. Breaking ball overthrown. You see Gattis not moving out of the way, hiding it very well, that baseball on the ground. You don't have to as a hitter.
Good read by Correa, too, because he remained in his spot, didn't go back to the base. Gaddis goes down swinging for the first down.
Nasty breaking ball. Threw 4 breaking balls and had a bat against Gaddis to finally get a swing and miss.
Second punch out for Myers.
Sharp breaking ball. Stayed back very well. Calls it a curveball, but it's more of a slurve, a combination of a slider and curveball. Also a solid changeup for Myers.
One out, one on. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitting first baseman at the plate. We'll take that pitch inside. Gonzalez at 250 on the year. Had a 1-for-3 game last night. This one's out toward left center field. Deep enough to score Correa. Bus will make the catch. Here comes Carlos, and the Astros get on the board. And it's 2-1 Angels. Gonzalez with his 46th run batted in.
The wild pitch and good base running by Correa. Gets the 3rd, scores on that sac fly by Gonzalez. A manufactured run with Correa's wheels, because he ran out hard out of the batter's box and that ball off the wall. A lot of times a hitter will think he hit a home run, will not give it his all going down the line, but he did. Beat the throw in from Cole, advanced on a wild pitch, scored on a sac fly.
There's Tony Kemp, the left fielder, taking a strike. 232 average for the speedy outfielder. One, two. Yes, he did on the breaking pitch. Perez will apply the tag. Meyer picks up his 3rd strikeout of the night, gives up a run, but the Angels maintain a 2-1 lead as we get to the 3rd. Top of the order coming up now against Doug Fister. It'll be Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout. He retired them in order in the first on 3 ground ball outs. Slider away. Escobar ended up grounding out to Gurriel at third. 5 ground ball outs. Pardon me, 6 ground ball outs for Fister. And 3 hits, all 3 doubles. That's a nice pitch.
Ran that two-seamer off the plate in. His average fastball this season, 86.9 miles per hour for Fister. Second slowest average fastball velocity in baseball. But he creates a lot of movement on that fastball.
Now slow to get back into the batter's box. Got jammed badly, dropped the bat. He's walked around home plate. With the right hand or arm.
Yeah, he let go of that bat quickly.
Actually, the left hand is what Adam Neville was looking at.
And if you're Fister, you got to believe you're going to throw that fastball back inside.
One back inside.
That's what you thought. Anytime you see a hitter a little discomfort in the hand, you got to go right back inside, and that's exactly what Doug Fister did.
Two one on the outside part of the plate. Evens up to Calhoun on deck, then Trout.
Well, just looking at the zone that Marvin Hudson has already established, it's that outside part of the plate against right-handed batters. You have to live there all day. He's called quite a few of them.
Yep. James Hoare last night. He's at third tonight. Also calling the corners and beyond. And a called strike 3. That's one of those borderline pitches. You now thought he had himself a walk. Instead, it's Fister's first strikeout.
Talked about it. He's calling that part of the plate. It's a little bit off the outside corner, according to our Fox tracks. But he's been calling that part of the plate.
Cole grounded out to short. First. Bouncing the breaking ball in the dirt. Cole finished that Sunday game against the Blue Jays going 0 for 5 as he rips this one on the left side of second base, and with the shift on, it's an easy single for Calhoun.
And that's a pitch upstairs. Lines it left center field. Cole getting that first hit since returning with the birth of his son. All the hits so far against Doug Fister have been elevated fastballs or off speed upstairs.
He should take that baseball out of the game.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's his first hit after the birth of his son. Give it to his son. Be cool.
Be a great memory for him down the road.
Or not. Well, now that
I kind of agree with
the
you.
moment is gone. I guess you can go into the ball bag afterwards.
That's the one.
Just grab one. But they've got all the MLB authenticators here.
Yes.
That'd be a nice memento to have. Ball and a strikeout. Trout. Mike grounded out to third in the first inning. How many baseballs did you keep?
My 1,000th strikeout, first win, 100th win.
Little flare out to center. That will get down for a base hit. So back-to-back singles with one out here the third.
Probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah. Any memorable home runs you gave up you wanted to ask for?
No, I asked for the bat from him. He signed it for me. I said, hey, Frank Thomas, could you sign that bat you hit one 475 feet against me?
Still,
oh, sure.
I still think you should get Molitor's name tattooed on your leg for breaking your leg.
It pretty much is, with the dent still in my leg.
Albert up. He doubled off the wall. Originally called a foul ball, but replay overturned it. Looks like there's some action already in the Astros pen. The struggles that Fister's had second half are real. It's Phillies, who pitched last night, first man up, probably just to get them through an inning. It's off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Double for Albert, his 18th of the season. A couple of men on base. Came in with 31 home runs on the season and 116 runs batted in. This is yanked foul. Albert at the start of the day, third in the RBI category behind Encarnacion at 123. Ortiz at 122.
Well, when you think about this rotation now for the Astros, not quite as deep as we saw earlier in the season, it is surprising. I mean, as a starting pitcher, when you give up a couple hits, one being a flare in the center field, and you see the bullpen up, you're not a real happy camper.
This would bounce foul. Well, we've heard from several sources that A.J. Hinch has had a very quick hook with his guys, especially down the stretch. Two balls and 2 strikes. 44 pitches for Fister. Nothing easy other than the first inning. Had 3 ground ball outs. Five base runners since. Two, and that's line to left. Kemp comes in and almost has been too far. Makes the catch. 2 down.
Towards the end of the bat, but still hit pretty hard by Albert. A little bit below the strike zone, middle part of the plate. Mislocation, fastball went down and got it. You're looking fastball, especially lower part of the zone against Fister. And Albert hit it well, but Kemp was able to catch it.
So here's Crone. He doubled the opposite way. Picked up an RBI in the second. Ground ball right side. Gonzalez has it. Fister covering. The Angels get a couple of men on and leave him stranded. They'll take a 2-1 lead headed to the bottom of the third. AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Toyota Cerritos. Halos with the 2-1 lead as we begin the bottom of the third. Alex Meyer with 3 strikeouts so far tonight. Gets 8 down and 1 here for the Astros. And Castro, Hernandez, and then Springer. Jason Castro, a .212 average, 11 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Breaks his bat and will flare one to the left for a base hit. And will stop at first as Buss gets that baseball back in quickly.
One thing about any base runner, when you round that first base bag, you better be ready to get back quickly. Simmons will always throw behind him if you're not paying attention. Talk about a little flare in the outfield. Check that one up quickly. Broke his bat.
Leadoff man reaches, and here's Teoscar Hernandez, center fielder. Showing bunt, takes outside. 32 games so far with the Astros, .222 average for the 23-year-old Dominican. That is this year AA, AAA, and the big leagues. 307 combined in the minor leagues this year. 10 home runs, 53 runs batted in. 34 stolen bases as well. Castro on the move, a little hit and run as this one's bounced foul.
Usual good hands for Gary Pettis. Giving that ground ball his way. Third base coach. Two Gold Gloves with the Yankees. 5 overall in his career. Talk about a guy get to a baseball in center field.
Down goes Hernandez for the first out of the third.
Breaking ball was wicked. Starting at the outside part of the plate and then ends up in the dirt because he's been able to establish his fastball on that plane of the plate. So that's why you're getting swings from hitters, especially if they have not seen them before either.
Here's George Springer. Right fielder will shoot one to right. Got jammed and he fights it off, and the Astros have 2 men on here with 1 out, and Gurriel coming to the plate.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup. It was elevated. And it stayed upstairs. He stayed back on it. Yeah, sure, with the line drive in front of him, stops us to make sure that baseball is down. Well, right in front of him. Not going to be able to advance to third anyhow with Calhoun out in right field. Springer always aggressive. First pitch, a little over 40% of the time. He will be swinging at that first pitch.
Gurriel skies one in the middle of the infield. Infield fly rule would be called. Simmons taking charge, 2 down.
And one thing with Simmons, you just never know what he's going to do. He's going to try to catch everything in the air, especially a pop-up.
So 2 outs, runners remain at first and second. Here comes Altuve. He's grounded out softer to Crone in his first plate appearance. He's 0 for 1.
It's a big moment for the youngster Alex Meyer, especially with Altuve at the plate. 382 batting average with runners in scoring position. Best in the big leagues.
Upstairs, 206 hits for Jose Altuve, leads Major League Baseball. 3rd straight season of 200 or more hits. First to do that since Ichiro is finishing up 10 straight seasons between 01 and 2010. Bounce this one over to third. Good pitch in on the hands. Escobar goes the short way. They force out Springer. We will head to the 4th with the Angels on top.
In the field, and an infield pop-up went over to that second base side of the base. Cliff Pennington said, hey, you want my glove too? As usual, Simmons takes control on anything hit in the air.
As well he should, Gooby. And he leads things off here. You make a great play, and you lead things off, or a routine play. Whatever.
Or control the whole infield like he does. You get to lead off.
Simmons busted Perez for the Angels here in the 4th against Fister, who has 1 strikeout, no walks. 5 hits allowed. Andrelton grounded out his first time up. One and 2. Nobody warming now for Houston as Fister's back out of the bump.
Seems like every time from this point forward, anytime there's a base runner, you're going to see someone up in the bullpen for the Astros. He has been struggling, like you mentioned earlier, Victor, of late. Short leash. Especially AJ Hinch knows what's going on around baseball. They usually say you got to take care of your own business, but you also know what's going on with Detroit.
Well, there's a telephone booth swing, and then there's this swing here. That was in on the hands.
He has to laugh going back to the dugout. If he hits that at all, whoever's in the on-deck circle is in jeopardy.
Hear that, or it's off his chest. That's incredible. It's very Bugs Bunny-like. Boss showing bunt, takes upstairs. Now, as a pitcher, you loved that, didn't you?
Oh.
You laughed inside, didn't you?
Well, maybe not inside either. Might have laughed outside, too.
Yeah, you let them know.
I felt pretty good about that pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nick had himself an RBI double in the second. 7th double, 7th RBI for Buss. One. 2 balls and a strike. You know, we were in Texas, and Jared Sandler does the pregame, postgame shows for the Rangers on the radio side of things. He's a USC guy. Was at USC when Nick was at USC. And he asked me, does he still go by Chili? I said, no, we've known him as Nick since we acquired him. He goes, yeah, in college he was always Chili. In the minor leagues he was always Chili, which is his middle name. But that's what he was known as back then. Now he's all of a sudden Nick Buss, which is right. I mean, it's his given name.
Yes. It's because he's got 9 extra base hits already for the Angels.
I mean, I'd stick with Chili.
Yes.
Works the walk here with 1 out. The first free pass issued by Fisker.
There was a pretty good Chili, though, here beforehand. A lot of career home runs.
Oh, but you know, Chili Davis would be saying to Nick Buss, embrace the name.
Yes. Well, of course, but Chili, you know that.
1 ball, no strikes. Carlos grounded out in his first plate appearance.
By the way, he was doing an outstanding job as the hitting coach for the Red Sox.
They'll put it all together all of a sudden. He was worried about the pitching staff. The offense has been clicking pretty much all season.
They're only a game behind the best record now in the American League. By the way, Big Papi, another home run tonight, 37th.
Boston leading Tampa Bay. Tigers all over Kansas City, 6-0 in that one. Buss is on the move. This one is just foul. So Chili will head back to first. Let's just start calling.
Yeah, Chili.
We can do whatever we want, right?
Yes. Chili looking over at Ron Renicky right now to get a sign, see if another hit and run's on.
Chili might be on the move.
Chili gets back to the base there.
Next plate appearance will have him fonted as Chili Buss.
Yes.
1-1. He's on the move, and they pitch out. Astros throw. Just does get there ahead of Nick.
Now he's back to Nick.
He's back to Nick. He made it out. There's nothing you could do.
They guessed right, pitch out. And Carlos did whatever he could to try to at least foul that baseball off or distract Castro on his throw to second.
One, 2 outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baltimore, by the way, is still trailing Arizona. The Orioles have struggled mightily of late. This is hit sharply to third, off the chest of Gurriel, over to Correa, off balance throw, and they got him. Wow! How about that? 5-6-3 for the put out to end the inning.
Is that any way to treat your former teammate? Carlos Perez thinks he has a base hit, Guerrero off the leg, but what a reaction by Correa again, and a strong throw to get Perez at first.
Brought to you by Subaru, making the world a better place. That's why we donate to causes we care about. By El Pollo Loco, new chicken tenders. Try them today at El Pollo Loco. And by the 3-row 2016 Mazda CX-9.
It's a beautiful night in Houston. Game 2 of a 4-game series. The Halos with a 2-1 lead as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning. And right on cue, Carlos Correa coming to the plate to face Alex Meyer. And Correa had a terrific round of applause as he walked off or jogged off the field after that terrific play. He will lead things off here in the 4th.
And the reaction by him was outstanding in the throw. A lot on it to get Perez at first.
Yuli Gurriel sitting in the dugout going, hey, what about me? Or my chest, anyway.
I kept the ball in front of me, or at least close to being in front of me.
He did. That ball was hit hard, too, by Carlos. Correa doubled off the wall and right in his first plate appearance. Came around to score. 35th double of the season for Carlos. Rookie of the year last year. He rips this one and foul. That one hooked and almost decapitated a fan out there. Got to be paying attention. Heads up.
Especially down. It's almost what you see at Fenway Park. Very similar. Those stands. Really be focused on that baseball coming at you.
Two-on count. Those are cool seats. I mean, you are facing right in. I mean, that's coming right at you.
I mean, you think about how far away you are. You're not far at all.
Just beyond third. That's on the corner, 2-2, and Carlos doesn't like it.
Pitch before could have been called a strike. Had some good movement lower part of the strike zone.
Breaking pitch, and that's driven out to right. Cole racing back, has a beat on it. Puts it away as he backpedals onto the track.
And going back to that play by Correa, it's a Honda helpful moment. That ball was hit, scolded at him by Carlos Perez. With Correa there, off the chest, come in, off balance throw with a lot on it, and gets Perez at first base. He was going down the line quickly also.
By Carlos standards.
Correa's made some unbelievable plays against the Angels here in this ballpark in particular this season.
Evan Gattis takes ball 1. He struck out at the second. One of 4 punch outs. But Meyer has picked up.
You know you have a good fastball when you're able to throw that on the outside corner in a fastball count against a hitter that has hit the fastball very well this year in Evan Gattis.
Three 1 count. Went around on the breaking ball, full count.
2 fastballs in a row right on that same plane, and you followed up with a slider that was out of the strike zone on a 3-1 count. That's a pretty good indication how quick and sharp that breaking ball is from Meyer.
Three-2. Fastball, and it's fouled back. Ran that up and in on him. Three-two on the way. And he draws the walk. Hey, I want to remind you we got a pregame Oktoberfest celebration coming up at the Game 1 Music Garden when the Angels take on the Astros next Friday and Saturday. Enjoy a variety of beers, live music, and more. Visit angels.com/promotions for more information and to get your tickets today.
Could be more, is it lederhosens
Yes.
right now?
Now?
I mean,
Yes.
you've got them on.
Yeah, well, got to get ready. Preparation.
Marvin Gonzalez takes upstairs. He had a sac fly in the second. I think we'll have some strudels in the press dining.
I'm hoping so. Gonzalez has rolled into 14 double plays. Changeup. Hasn't thrown many of them yet. See a difference in the speeds. 97. Best fastball, 83 breaking ball.
A little surprised to see the off-speed stuff so much and so frequent this inning. I mean, his fastball's been very good, and I know you're working on things.
No, I mean, I think he needs, Alex has to establish that a little bit earlier. It's difficult to have a feel for that pitch into the fourth inning when your fastball's had that type of movement. Sometimes you don't need those other pitches. When your fastball isn't as crisp, that's when you need the changeup. You don't have to force it in there. You don't have to force the changeup in when your fastball has this type of movement and control. Slider's been, or slurve I should say, has been very good also for Alex.
Gonzalez pulling the trigger at 3-0.
The pitch was a little bit off the outside corner to boot.
And that's driven out toward right center field. Trout moving back. He's near the wall, and he'll make the catch. Gaddis rounded second, retouches, and heads back to first. Gonzalez hit at the wrong part of this ballpark.
I'm just saying, utilize the right part here. Wrong for him, right for Meyer and the Angels and Trout. Challenged him, fastball, pretty much down the heart of the plate, and a good swing for Gonzalez, but wrong area of the field. Trout going back to the wall, makes the play.
Tony Kemp takes outside. Strikeout victim to end the second.
.56 pitches thrown now for Meyer in the game. Had to settle in around the 75 pitch mark so far in his starts. Last game out, 79. Dropped his elbow on that one. That shoulder flew wide open. So the pitch count so far, 20 in this inning, 10 in the first inning, 10 in the third. So the even innings so far, 17 and 20 here in the fourth.
Sky to center, playable for Trout. 4 completed in Houston. The Angels maintaining a 2-1 lead.
Season where all that matters is October. The NLDS starts October the 7th on FS1. Division leaders, Nationals and the Cubbies. Cubbies, of course, have wrapped things up. Nationals, let's see, they had a chance to wrap it up tonight. And we'll give you that score a little bit later on. Dodgers, 6-game advantage over the San Francisco Giants. It's all tight in the National League wild card, as it is in the American League wild card, as Pfister starts the 5th with a strikeout. A strike, I should say. Cliff Pennington not forecasting anything. Cliff grounded out in the 2nd. So he's 0 for 1. 9-1-2 for the Halos. Washington, by the way, leading Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh. I thought they were in D.C. It's 4-3. Still batting. The game's in the 6th inning.
Yeah, if they were able to win that and the Phillies beat the Mets, they would clinch the division. The Mets were down 3-1 to the Phillies. Now lead that one 4-3.
1-1. Showing bunt with the shift on. Takes low. 2 balls and a strike. As a number 9 hitter at this stage of Cliff Pennington's career, if they're going to continue to play that shift, why wouldn't you bunt every single time?
Yeah.
Even where Gurriel is at now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw him out. I mean, as long as he pushes it down the line.
I do. I try it again if I'm Cliff.
2-2, and he will strike out as he bunts it foul.
It's still available for him.
Action up again for Houston. Surprising is that Pfister's learned the ball better after giving up the back-to-back singles in the 3rd, but got out of it with no damage. Facing Escobar, 3rd time through the order now. Yell is grounded out and struck out. Off speed is low. 69 pitches thrown by Pfister so far.
When you look at his last 5 starts, he's been in that 5th inning range the most.
Oh, a nice play by Correa. 2 down. The ball popped up on him too.
Well, we've been treated here a lot of games of late here in Minute Maid Park of outstanding shortstop defense between Correa and Simmons in this yard. Both with outstanding throwing arms. Another nice play by Correa.
Two outs, nobody on, and Cole up. Singled his last time up, 1 for 2. As far as the American League is concerned, Texas will be in Oakland tonight. The game will get started in about 35 minutes. Magic number of 1. So any loss by the Astros or a victory by Texas at some point, game over in the American League West. No balls, 2 strikes.
Happened to Cleveland Indians. They were down 4-2 to the Chicago White Sox. They now lead that game 10-4.
Yeah.
They're getting closer and closer to locking up a playoff spot.
Tigers still up 6-1. They've got them loaded right now against Kansas City in the bottom of the 6th. Toronto leading the Yankees 3-0. Toronto in the number 1 wild card spot right now, a game advantage over the Tigers. Count still at no balls, 2 strikes. The wild card looks like the start of the day.
So close, so bunched up. The Astros, knowing how important this game is, you can tell by the way AJ Hinch is managing this game already. Bullpen action almost from the get-go with Pfister on the mound.
2 balls, 2 strikes with Trout on deck. This is hit towards center and glove by a diving Correa. Oh my, what a play by the shortstop. He's turned in a couple already tonight.
Boy, these last 2 innings showing why he's one of the best players in all of baseball. The range, this is a rocket up the middle. Dives, outstanding play by Correa.
Inning. What a play by Carlos Correa to end the Angels half of this inning.
I mean, that baseball was crushed and tailing away from him.
Alex Meyer back to work. 8-9-1. Castro, Hernandez, and Springer. Castro late on that fastball. He had a single, got jammed and flared one into shallow left in his first AB. Eventually stranded at second base. No balls, 2 strikes. Good breaking ball.
Yeah, good under control breaking ball. This is 4th 0-2 count in this game for Alex Meyer. Now that breaking ball is slightly overthrown. Castro real happy that baseball didn't get the leg. Able to hop out of the way.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball hit toward the shortstop position, but that's Escobar in the shift. 1 down.
Let's go back to that play by Carlos Correa. It's our top tier play brought to you by Arco. Look where he's located. This line drive, and it's tailing away from him. He dives. That baseball is by him. What a play by Correa. The athleticism, the quickness to make that play. 3 outstanding plays in an inning.
Hernandez, the center fielder, struck out in his first at bat. 4 strikeouts for Meyer, 1 walk. 3 hits allowed. Paints on the outside part of the plate. 2 down.
Nice little change up there to get a ground ball out.
And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
There's Correa. Boy, has he made some outstanding defensive plays tonight for the Astros. The importance of those defensive plays also to keep it close. And on the norm, Springer's up there swinging first pitch. Good decision by Carlos Perez to put that breaking ball sign down first pitch.
One for 2 tonight. Strikeout and a walk, or pardon me, a single. The only walk was to Gaddis in the 4th. Two on. Breaking ball misses. Ground ball toward short. Simmons to his left. And Meyer with a 1-2-3 fifth. We head to the 6th inning. Angels still up 2-1.
Continue to play good baseball. Victor Martinez, solo home run, 2 RBIs today, giving them 82 on the season. Looking for their 5th straight win. Now let's go to America Park in Detroit for a game break. Justin Upton against Danny Duffy. Lines it down the line for a double, scoring a run. Martinez able to slide in there, and then Victor Martinez. Changeup against Duffy, drives it out, solo shot. What a season he has had. Giving that protection for Miguel Cabrera in the 4th spot in the lineup.
So in and out, who's in, who's out. A pitching change is James Hoyt, 6'6" right-hander, 29-year-old from Boise, Idaho. On a relief, this will be his 19th game. 1-1 record and a 4.67 ERA. Came over with Evan Gaddis as part of a trade prior to last season. And pretty nice story in that he was a non-drafted free agent. Signed by the Braves. Guy that kind of bounced around, kind of like Gaddis, scrubbing boats. Finally finding the desire to go back to baseball, grinded it through the independent leagues. Ended up signing with the Braves. Here he is this year, making it to the big leagues as a 29-year-old.
Pretty good fastball with some movement. 92 to 96 range. Slider. And split finger fastball.
Put up great numbers at AAA. 29 saves at Fresno. And a 1.64 ERA. Upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes on Trout. Hoy with 93 strikeouts in 55 innings of work at AAA. And there's a 4-pitch walk to start the 6th inning.
You might see Trout on the move right away here too.
Five innings for Fister, 2 runs, both earned. 5 hits. 3 strikeouts and 1 walk.
They still love Albert Pujols here.
Yeah.
In Houston.
Can you blame them?
So the night before you passed Frank Robinson on the all-time RBI list, tonight you tie Barry Bonds on the all-time doubles list.
Hit and run is on, and Pujols picks up the single. Trout keeps on running to third.
Real good base running by Trout. Good piece of hitting too by Albert, putting it in play. Second hit of the game. Pitch lower part of the strike zone. Albert stays back on that breaking ball, lines it into left center field, but Trout on the move. Picks it up right away where the baseball's at and easily turns on the afterburners to go to third on a hit and run.
Albert's swinging all the time when Trout's on the move, it seems like. And clearly not a hit and run. It was just more of a run. And oh, by the way, I'm going to hit. Carl lifts the first one foul. No balls and a strike.
There's the old hit and run, and then there's the run after it's hit.
Yeah. CJ 1 for 2, an RBI double in the second, a ground out in the third. This one out to shallow right. Springer a long run in, and he will make the catch. Nothing Trout could do. 1 out.
Very important add-on runs here too for the Angels.
I don't understand this move here either.
The only thing I could think of is to make him aware of safety squeeze or something like that, because after the pitch he made to CJ Cron, you don't want to slow down the pitcher's momentum. He made a good pitch.
Can't you just yell that from the dugout? Seriously, you're 3 batters into a relief appearance in the big leagues.
And the one thing when you're a pitcher and you make a good pitch, you don't want to have any time in between to throw the next one. You threw it exactly what you wanted to do. You wanted to try to jam a very good power hitter in CJ Cron, and he did. He popped him up in the infield basically.
A senseless visit. Here's Simmons, 1 out, runners at first and third. Hamilton 0 for 2 with a ground down, a strikeout. Simmons fouls that one back.
And my Hyundai key for the scheme tonight for the Angels to be successful over the hills and far away. So far, 3 doubles. Scored a couple runs in the second inning. Looking for some more damage here. Trying to drive the baseball, score some runs, some at-home runs. Separate yourself between the Astros and the Angels.
Bunts it foul.
There was that safety squeeze being put on.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Trout standing at third, Pujols at first. 1 out. 2-1 Halos in the 6th. Off the plate, 2-2. Castro set up outside once again. And Simmons will get the job done here. Wow. On a breaking pitch.
Real close play at first base, too.
They'll get the RBI, and it's 3-1 Angels. But just to be able to get the bat on ball, because that was a pitch off the plate.
That's good situational hitting, knowing 2 strikes on you. It's very difficult to make contact on this breaking ball right there. Located perfectly if you're Hoyt. Nice job, though, by Simmons. An extremely difficult hitter to strike out, and it has been throughout his career. Puts in play and gets an RBI out of it.
Albert ends up at second base. Simmons now with 40 runs batted in. And another nice play, too, by Correa. Here's Nick Buss. 1 for 1 with an RBI double and a walk, and he'll foul this one off. Leadoff walk coming back to haunt. Trout scoring on that ground out. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2.
Nick looking to get on base for the 3rd time tonight.
Just missed off the plate. 2-2. Just got a piece of that breaking ball.
With a pretty good breaking ball and split finger fastball. Good battle here for Buss in this at bat.
Carlos Perez on deck. This one lifted, third base side. Gurriel will give it a look, but it's into the seats. Never a good sign when, as a hitter, you see a pitcher looking in, kind of squinting. Troy Percival did that quite a bit. Kind of makes you think a little bit as a hitter.
Yeah. You certainly don't want to be comfortable in the batter's box.
Not only squinting, but then kind of really like peering in, like, what do you want me to throw?
I can't see the signs.
Best would be is you just give a shoulder shrug and then come set.
Yeah. I'll just throw whatever I want. Let's react.
Oh, man. Down and in. Full count.
Real good at bat here for Buss.
Here's a 3-2. Buss takes a walk. Second one issued by Hoyt. Second one picked up by Nick in this game. We'll bring up Carlos Perez. Get your red on. Join us on Sunday, October the 2nd for Fan Appreciation Day. That's the last day of the season. Angels will celebrate our fans as we take on the Astros at 12:05. Fans in attendance will have a chance to win great prizes courtesy of Body Armor Sports Drink, Apple Vacations, and Secrets Resorts and Spas. Just go to angels.com for more details.
I think Nick deserves chili again. Good at bat, 3 times on base for Chili Buss.
That one's in the dirt, gets away from Castro, and the runners will advance. A wild pitch.
Looked like a split finger fastball well in front of Castro. Both runners advance into scoring position.
Hoyt struggling here in the 6th inning. 1 run in. Runners at second and third and 2 outs. Mentioned the long road for Hoyt to get to the big leagues. Even played for Jose Canseco, who's managing Yuma in independent ball.
And being asked to get some big outs in a pressure situation as you try to stay alive in the wild card race.
Action now in the Astros pen. 1-1 to Perez. That's off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Almost like he's trying to be too fine. He's got a big enough arm. You see Pat Neshek getting ready.
Again, you haven't been in these situations before. The magnitude of every single pitch you throw coming out of the bullpen for a guy with relatively no time here, I should say, in the big leagues. It's very difficult.
Clanks in and out of the glove of Castro, but it's a strike to even the count. .26 pitches thrown by Hoyt in the 6th. Two. Carlos goes down swinging. The Angels get a run. They lead it 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the inning.
So close to advancing to the ALCS last year. Had a 2-1 lead, series lead against the Royals, and led 6-2 in the 7th inning of that deciding game. Could have clinched it, did not do so, and the Royals won Game 4 9-6 and came back in Game 5 in Kansas City, and that went 7-2 to win the series. So close, yet they let it get away for A.J. Hinch's club last year.
Alex Meyer back to work here in the 6th. He'll face 2, 3, and 4. Gurriel, Altuve, and Correa. A 3-1 lead now. Gurriel, the third baseman, 0 for 2. Just a little dribbler toward third. Escobar's got the barehand, an off-balance throw, and he fires it wildly, and it goes into the camera well, and that means Gurriel will advance to second on Escobar's 18th error of the season.
And playing back off the end of the back aerial, but he runs well with the bare hand off balance throw, but that throws runner right towards the runner going down the line and gets away from Crone and into the camera well, so you've taken away the double play ball.
So Jose Altuve will come up with nobody out. He represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th, always dangerous. Myers handled him well so far tonight in the first 2 at-bats, a ground out to first and a fielder's choice in the 3rd. A hit and an error for Gurriel, his first hit of the series, the 4th allowed by Alex. Fastball in for a strike. 73 pitches for Meyer.
He's been selling in. It's 79 his last time out.
5 innings in now, and that's his longest outing. This is a broken bat roller to short.
Huge out there. Not only do you get the out, but you don't allow Gurriel to be able to move to third base. Jammed and broke his bat. Good running fastball. Again, that's back-to-back at bats for Meyer against Altuve. Jammed them.
He's broken some bats tonight, too.
So finally some movement down in the bullpen now for the Angels.
Yeah, but unless there's some trouble, this is just a just-in-case move. We'll get through 6. You see a move in the 7th. Unless something goes awry here. Correa with a double and a fly ball to right. That's inside, the breaking ball.
Remember that last at bat at the first pitch with the fastball way inside. This time it's a breaking ball. Certainly no design or reason for him to do that. It just got away from him a little bit quick on his delivery.
Both times Correa's looked away and shot it the other way. Wonder if they just try to stay the fastballs in. Just to keep him honest. Nope, they're going to go back outside. Slider. Curveball.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination between a slider and a curveball, more of a slurve. It's a pitch that he's got pretty good feel for. They can change speeds with it, 83 to 86 range on that breaking ball.
3-0, dug out of the dirt by Carlos.
More than likely he will be swinging here. With this 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 4 hits allowed, 77 pitches thrown. Gonzalez was swinging 3-0, so you know Correa will if he gets a pitch to drive.
Second free pass. It's the Evan Gattis, the DH coming up. 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk, and Charles Nagy's going to go out. This will give Guerra an opportunity to get ready.
See that 78 pitches, 45 of them strikes. Much better. Just 2 walks in this game for Alex Meyer.
Outside.
All of a sudden, that front shoulder's been flying open for him for 5 pitches in a row. Early in the game, he was getting that call, even though it was a little bit off the outside corner. But when you have thrown 5 in a row off the plate like that, you don't get those borderline calls.
Three and 0. And that's going to be it, I would imagine. Back-to-back walks. Here comes Socha, sure enough. Boy, you talk about it just getting away from you all of a sudden. And Alex Meyer threw the ball so well coming into the 6th inning. Will depart with the bases loaded. The Angels still up 3-1. Baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Infinity. Visit your local Southern California Infinity retailer for a test drive today. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. The Angels with a 3-1 lead, but the Astros have loaded them up. A single and an error by Yunel Escobar, Gurriel the batter, and then 2 walks. After getting Altuve to ground down, chases Alex Meyer. He departs, and he will entrust that Dale Esguerra can get the job done and keep this 2-run lead with the Angels batting in the 7th. We'll see what happens. 82 pitches for Meyer, and 5 1/3, his longest outing as an Angel. Garrett comes into a ball game for the 42nd time this season. 3-0, a 3.16 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 7 walks at 51 1/3 innings, and he's going to face the switch-hitting first baseman, Marvin Gonzalez, who is 0 for 1. A couple of fly ball outs, one with a sac fly in the 2nd, picking up his 46th run batted in.
And we mentioned earlier, he's the guy that's rolled into 14 double plays, 7 from the left side, 7 from the right side.
Gurriel, the base runner at 3rd, Correa at 2nd, Gaddis, the trail runner at first base. Infield back at double play depth. First off speed is in the dirt. Astros tonight 0 for 4 with men in scoring position. Just a total of 4 hits against Miami. He said terrific stuff. There's movement. Took guys off balance, broke some bats. And all of a sudden hit a wall. The back-to-back walks. (1-0). Fastball misses. 2 balls, no strikes.
Still an outstanding effort tonight for Alex Meyer, hoping for some help. Yeah, the bullpen here for Dielis Guerra. That's that great changeup he has to get back into counts. (2-0) looking fastball, changeup instead. And that's the part of the zone you can get Gonzalez out. 181 batting average on those low pitches.
(2-1). Back to the off speed, and it's fouled back.
Again, lower part of the strike zone. Hips fly open. For Gonzalez, great location going down and away.
A fellow countrymen facing off here, Gonzalez and Guerra. (2-2) pitch. Almost got to the chase.
Well, you threw him a breaking ball. Big moment here now for the Angels and, of course, the Astros. They look up, a number of teams are trying to catch in the wild card race. They're winning. Almost got him to go after that breaking ball. Good block in front of the plate, too, by Carlos Perez. Ballpark getting loud now.
Guerra's ready. There's the payoff pitch. Gonzalez chops it on the ground. Foul.
Change up, and he's been very good on pitches elevated.
Simmons playing up the middle. Escobar at home at third. Now the 3-2. Gonzalez hits one up the middle, a base hit. One run is in. Correa is going to be waved in, and we are going to be tied at 3. A 2 RBI single by Marvin Gonzalez as Guerra decides to go fastball, and Gonzalez didn't miss it. He picks up his 3rd RBI of the night. Those 2 runs unfortunately get charged to Alex Meyer, and he's still responsible for Gaddis at second.
And this fastball's about thigh high. It's a right back up through the middle. Drive it in 2.
But it begs the question, why go back to a fastball when you've got Gonzalez off balance with the changeup?
Even a bad one the pitch before was up,
right.
He was still out in front. You're not going to trick a hitter like Gonzalez trying to sneak a fastball by him.
So no possibility of Meyer picking up a W for a second straight start. A 3 RBI game for Gonzalez. Here is Tyler White, pitch hitting for Kemp. White pinch hit last night and picked up a double. We'll foul this one back. Infield still looking for that double play. Double that White picked up last night, his 4th pinch hit double of the season. He will take low. It's 2 balls and a strike. That's a new club rookie record. And the most by an American League player since Jim Thome in 2010. Not bad for a guy who's got 79 games in the big leagues this year.
Remember how machine. Yeah, remember how hot he started out beginning part of the year too for the Astros.
He's 4 for 11 as a pitch hitter. All 4 have been doubles. Upstairs, 3-1. This is hit sharply up the middle of base hit. Another fastball. Gaddis is coming around to score, and the Astros lead it 4-3. So all 3 runs that Gary inherits come around to score. And that means Meyer soaks them all up, unfortunately.
Because he's got to challenge him with a fastball, and the count goes with the fastball and another base hit on one of those pitches.
Tyler White gets his job done. Jake Marisnick takes over as the pinch runner. Still 1 out. Jason Castro up. Book closed on Meyer. He gets charged with 4 runs.
Still a very solid outing for Alex Meyer tonight. Certainly moving in the right direction.
Oh, what down on Castro. And you go back to the top of the inning. The Angels had an opportunity to extend their 3-1 lead. But unable to do so, leaving 2 men on base.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot in this ballpark this season, where the Angels have had an opportunity to add on and haven't been able to do so and give life to the Astros. And they've come back like they have here tonight.
1-1. Castro pulls one to the right side. Glove by Crow, knocks it down. They go to first, and he fires it wildly. base. It brings in another run. Marisnick slams on the brakes at third as Pennington alertly gets to home plate.
Yeah, Pennington doesn't get to home plate. That Marisnick with his speed is going to try to challenge that and try to score.
The wheels have fallen off here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Mike Socha going into the bullpen now. That throw wide of Guerra after making a nice play on it. Fortunately enough, Cliff Pennington does cover home, and Marisnick's going to try to score.
Yelis Guerra lifted here in the bottom of the 6th. Ineffective at the very least. Leading at 5-3, and they have runners at first and third. Still with one out, Guerra doesn't get a batter out. Gives up 3 straight hits, and now it's Mike Morin in to try to get the Angels back in the dugout. This is an inning that really is just has not been pretty at all by any stretch of the imagination, with a couple of errors, a couple of walks, and really allowing a team to get back into this game. Not only that, to take a lead. Hernandez, the center fielder, up. He's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground out. Terrific speed, so a tough guy to double up. Got Marisnick at third base. Castro, the base runner at first, who got credited with a single. Crone gets charged with an error. And now another wild pitch, and Marisnick will score. 6-3.
Talk about an odd inning here.
Actually, he's going to get charged with a pass ball. Carlos is.
It was almost as if he was looking and anticipating a different pitch. Like he was crossed up on them.
That's tough to be crossed up when you got runners at first and third. You should just be going normal straight sides.
Exactly.
Two balls and no strikes. Popped up. Perez into foul territory toward the on deck circle. 2 down. So here's Springer, the ninth man to bat this inning. 1 for 3 with a single back in the third.
Always got to be ready and anticipate he's going to be swinging at the first pitch.
All right, first pitch strikes in this inning have just gone out the window. A 5-run 6th inning. 2 errors, a pass ball, 3 hits. Springer drives this one out to center. It's playable for Trout. And mercifully, this inning is in the books. Astros drop a 5 spot on the Halos. They lead at 6-3 as we head to the 7th. It's a 6:05 start locally, 4:05 back home, which makes it a 3:30 Angels Live kickoff show. Jolie Chassin going for the Angels. Brad Peacock on the mound for the Houston Astros. As we start the 7th here, game 2, the Angels now down by the score of 5-3. They will have 9-1-2 coming up. Pennington, Escobar, and Calhoun to face Will Harris. New pitcher on a relief. Harris taking over for Hoyt, who went 1 inning, gave up a run, a couple of walks, and a hit allowed. 63rd game of the season for Harris. 1-2 mark, a 2.24 ERA, has 12 saves under his belt. 16 1/3 innings. He has struck out 65. Jake Marisnik stays in the game. He's in center. Hernandez goes from center to left. No other changes for the Astros. Pennington tonight 0 for 2. Ground out in the second, a strikeout in the 5th.
Harris fastball is going to be 90-94 range with sink action. We'll throw a curveball, occasional changeup. See that big curveball from Harris. Another big curveball. They get a swing and miss. Stay away from the fastball against Pennington. Straight over the top, 12-6 break on a curveball. They get a swing and miss.
So 1 out, nobody on it. Here's Escobar. You now 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs and a strikeout looking. Off the plate.
There's quite a few curveballs. They're a little over 38%. Harris, so quite a few of them.
Two one now. Down and away. 3-1 count. Calhoun on deck. Full count. Couple of finals. Tigers beating Kansas City 8-3. Toronto shutting out the Yankees 9-0. So the Yankees will fall 4 back now in the wild card.
Well, they go back to that series up in Fenway where they had a number of comfortable leads late and let it get away from them.
Cleveland ended up closing out the White Sox 10-4. That one is off the plate and Escobar draws the walk.
That wild card race right now, Toronto with that victory. Baltimore still playing. Houston able to come back. So they were able to do in that 6th inning for AJ Hinch. Now the Angels trying to do the same in the 7th.
Arizona and the Orioles at the top of the 10th at Camden Yards tied at 2. Seattle leading Minnesota 2-0, and Texas and Oakland scoreless in the 4th.
Yeah, Baltimore was able to tie it late, had a chance to win. Runner was thrown out at the plate in the 9th inning.
Cole tonight 1 for 3. Takes inside. Last time up was robbed by Carlos Correa. Smoked a liner up the middle. Correa made a terrific diving play to his right. One. Breaking ball. Swinging over the top of it. One ball, 2 strikes. 6 hits for the Angels, 7 for the Astros. Two down.
Another breaking ball. thrown quite a few of them. He's thrown quite a few really good ones here in this inning also. 2 strikeouts on his curveball.
John fouls it back. Mike tonight on board twice with a single and a walk. He'll lift this one out to right field. Springer moving back on it. And the Angels are down here on the 7th. Stretch time in Houston with the Astros leading at 6-3. Remind you that MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AT Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Just go to MLB.TV for details. A.J. Ochter takes over on the mound for the Angels after Mike Moore got the final 2 outs of the 6th inning. Ochter pitching his 24th big league game with the Halos this year. No record. A 3.27 ERA. He has finished off 17 games, 33 innings, just 11 strikeouts and 8 walks. He gets Gurriel, Altuve, and Correa. Those are the 3 guys that led off the 6th inning against Alex Meyer.
And an infield hit started off that rally.
Escobar deciding to throw the ball ended up resulting in an error. Gurriel ended up at second base. It all just kind of went downhill from there. 5 runs came across, 3 charged to Meyer. Got charged with 4 overall in his 5 1/3. 2 runs to Deolis Guerra, both unearned runs. So Guerra gets out of that unscathed, even though his line and his ineffectiveness won't be impacted. Ochter comes in and promptly falls behind at 3 balls, no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk to start the 7th.
He's running in that dangerous part of the lineup now.
And with Gurriel at the plate, you got a guy that is going to swing the bat. He's not looking to walk. The old adage for Latin players from the Caribbean: you don't walk your way off the island, you swing your way off. As Altuve takes a breaking ball outside. It's 5 out of the zone for Octon. Halos have kept Altuve in check through the first 3 plate appearances. He's 0 for 3. This one back toward the middle. Simmons gloves it, flips it over to Pennington, and they turn the double play.
Boy, what a display we're seeing for both these shortstops here tonight. Correa with some outstanding plays. What a play by Simmons as Pennington shakes his head at Simmons. Correa. Altuve thinks he's got a base hit, potentially even into the alley there. He's hit so hard by him, flips it with the glove and a quick turn to get a 6-4-3 double play. You got Correa coming to the plate now. So, wow, we both have done some special things at that shortstop position tonight.
Late on that one, fouls it off, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. This one's out to center. Trout back a couple of steps. And we head to the 8th inning with the Angels trailing at 6-3.
With the Astros leading the Angels 6-3. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Hope you stick around after this game for a very comprehensive Angels Live postgame show brought to you by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Joined by Jose Mota, we can compare and contrast the plays we've seen at shortstop with Correa and Simmons. And also Jose wants to talk about the steps forward that we've seen from the young Alex Meyer in this game. So Gooby, do you agree? A step forward for Alex Meyer here tonight.
Well, no doubt about it, Patrick. I thought he threw the ball exceptionally well. This a little bit out of sync there in his last inning in the 6th. First time he's done that at the major league level. Pitched into that 6th inning, but overall his stuff outstanding. Electric fastball, break ball, very, very good. A plus pitch, and started mixing in some changeups as the game progressed. Early on, struggled a little bit with the changeup, then got some outs with that pitch and getting ground ball out. So outstanding for me what I saw from Meyer tonight.
Luke Gregerson takes over as we start the 8th inning, facing Albert Pujols. Albert, followed by Cronin and Simmons. Harris went 1 inning in the 7th, had a couple of strikeouts and a walk. Pujols tonight 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Down the line, it's a fair ball. Hits that short wall. Hernandez racing over, and Albert will stop at first. A 3-hit game for Pujols.
Albert continues to have good swing after good swing. Break a ball. Down and got it. Lines it right down to third base line. The perfect swing on a lower pitch in the strike zone. Remember, beginning part of the year, Albert struggled on low pitches. Not the case anymore.
Here's Crone. Second 3-hit game of the month for Albert. Yeah, we're back on 3rd of September. Crone 1 for 3. Had an RBI double with a run scored in the second. He'll drive this one out toward right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. It'll go to the wall. Nope, it'll get cut off on the track. Marisnick gets it back in quickly. Crone hustling towards second. Safe in there, just ahead of the tag. And that'll be his second double of the night.
Now 21 doubles on the season for Crone. Stayed back on that slider. A lot of breaking balls from Gregerson. Throws a fastball 88 to 92 range, change up, but a lot of breaking balls.
Nice job by Marisnick too to cut that ball off before it got to the wall and get rid of it quickly.
Hard tag by Altuve. Late slide into that base by Crone. Angels in business here now against a guy that's pitched very well throughout his career against the Angels.
First two have reached. Simmons a tying run at the plate. Nobody out. Gregerson working for the full windup. All three batters that he's faced, he's gone breaking pitch on the first offering. Andrelton tonight 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts, or pardon me, 1 strikeout, a couple of groundouts. Breaking pitch popped him up. Marwin Gonzalez. 1 down.
And like we've said here this season, especially with some runners in scoring position, some missed opportunities. Hopefully Nick Buss will be able to come through here now.
Angels now 2 for 11 with men in scoring position tonight. Buss grounds this one to the right side. It'll bring home a run. Altuve over to Gonzalez. And that is a second out. 6-4 now the Astros lead as Buss picks up his second RBI of the game. Crone ends up at third base.
Pinch hitter right now. Carlos Perez, G-Man Choi. Represent the tying run at the plate.
G-Man a 170 batting average. 0 for 8 as a pinch hitter. That breaking ball kind of plays into his swing, though.
Yeah, that should be a pitch he can drive right to right field and get it out of here and tie it up.
Hales have out hit the Astros 8-7. But down 2 here in the 8th inning. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Pennington on deck.
Gotta believe Troy will have the green light, even though with the batting average where it is right now, it still has the power to tie it up if Gregerson makes a mistake on the inner half of the plate.
Borderline pitch gets called a strike. Here's 3-1.
He's a little over aggressive on a 3-1 count. Veteran on the mound is not going to give in and throw a fastball, threw him a breaking ball instead.
Three-two, and George went around, says James Hoy, and we will head to the bottom of the 8th. Halos down 6-4. Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-4. Houston leads it. Corey Rasmus takes over on the mound. He replaces A.J. Octor. Ended up facing a minimum of 3 batters, courtesy of a walk and a double play ball and a fly ball to center. It's Rasmus to face the bottom part of this order, middle of the bottom part. Gaddis, Gonzalez, and then Burisman. Gratterall takes over behind the plate with Carlos Perez having just been pinch hit for it. Gaddis tonight 0 for 1 with a strikeout, 2 walks.
That big walk is going back to his back-to-back walks by Alex Meyer, who had been throwing the ball so well into that 6th inning. An infield hit, a couple walks, and that was his night after going 5 1/3. A really good, well-pitched baseball.
Just the 18th appearance of the season for Rasmus. A couple of stints on the disabled list with that groin strain, one of which required surgery. Gaddis fouls this one off late on the fastball. It's a full count.
Yeah, Rasmus has not been able to stay healthy in his career with the Angels. At times, very good. Has been able to spot start for Mike Scioscia, give him some length and innings out of the bullpen.
Fastball got him. Gaddis knew it. 1 down.
Almost as if Gaddis was looking off speed instead. Rasmus paints the outside corner with a fastball. Gradwell did a nice job of keeping that glove right there. Called strike at 91.
So it's Marwin Gonzalez coming up. He's had a 1 for 2 game, but 3 runs batted in. Zach Flan, that 2 RBIs single. The 2-0 count. Four-pitch walk. Jake Marizza coming up for his first plate appearance. It's a pinch runner in the 5-run 6th inning. 209 batting average, 5 home runs and 19 RBIs.
It's 5 in a row out of the strike zone now for Rasmus. Have to paint in the outside corner against Gaddis to get the first out of the inning. Gonzalez with 12 stolen bases. Good count for some action here for the Astros.
Hit and run is Oz. Merzick fouls it back. This is line to center. Trout will play it on the hop. So 1 out, 2 on. And Jason Castro coming to the plate. Although Mike Scioscia going to go to the bullpen with Cody Ige getting ready for the matchup here. So we will have a pitching change. There's the handoff, and we will go to break. Astros with a couple of men on, leading at 6-4. One hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Departs with a couple of men on here in the 8th inning. Cody Ige comes on in relief. 11th game. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. He's got Jason Castro coming to the plate. Castro tonight 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and an RBI. Marwin Gonzalez, the base runner at second. Jake Marisnick over at first. Ground ball towards second. Pennington to Simmons on the first. Double play. We head to the 9th inning with the Angels down 6-4. Astros here in the 9th inning. Halos down by 2 runs. Giles looking to close it out for the Astros to even up the series at a game apiece and keep their slim West Division hopes alive, as well as their wild card hopes. 66th game for Giles, the former Philly. 2-4 record, a 3.47 ERA, has 13 saves under his belt. Had some troubles with the Texas Rangers. The Rangers were in town. See if the Angels can get to him, as the Halos will have 9, 1 and 2 coming up. Pennington, Escobar, and then Calhoun. If somebody gets on base, hopefully Mike Trout gets an opportunity.
Giles definitely has a power fastball, 94 to 98 range. Will he break a ball, slider, changeup?
Pennington tonight 0 for 3. A ground down and a couple of strikeouts. This is pulled to the right side, a base hit, so the leadoff man reaches to start the 9th.
Good swing that time on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Pennington.
Escobar tonight 0 for 3. Drew a walk in his last plate appearance. Nasty pitch down and away. Tough one to lay off of as well. Count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
You can see how sharp that breaking ball is.
Escobar asked for time but wasn't granted. Backed out, takes a strike, and it's 1-2.
Well, he's calling timeout, but it doesn't have to be given to you by the home plate umpire. You can request it, but it doesn't always have to be given.
Just got a piece of it. Pennington, the leadoff single, is over at first. And that is driven out to deep left field. Get over the wall and left. Gone! Big fly for Yudel Escobar. And we're tied up at 6. 5th home run of the season for Yudel. And I mentioned Giles had some troubles the last homestand with the Rangers, and he has troubles here in the 9th.
A breaking ball on a 1-2 count. Got a lot of the plate, and Escobar made him pay for it. Right over the middle of the plate. Always tell a reaction by a catcher. Mislocation and out of the ballpark here to left field. Tie ball game.
So Meyer off the hook. Here's Cole Calhoun. Still nobody out. Trout on deck.
Overthrown fastball there at 99.
One 0. One ball with strike. Halos with a run in the 8th off of Gregerson. 2 here in the 9th off Giles.
All of a sudden, this crowd that was loud, quiet now.
Cole lifts one out to shallow center. Marisnik has to come in on it. Calls off Hernandez. 1 down.
Just his 5th home run of the season.
Trout tonight 1 for 3. Single and a walk for Mike.
Amazing thing, in this ballpark, coming into the game tonight, Trout is a 196 hitter in this yard. Does have 4 home runs, 14 RBI. 1 for 3 tonight.
We'll take a walk here. Give Trout an opportunity to steal a base. The Falcons provided that opportunity. (3-0). There's a 4-pitch walk. It's the go-ahead run now at first base. Albert coming up. Albert with a 3-hit game tonight.
And all these Astros fans know exactly what Albert has done against the Astros, who had his career 53 home runs for Pujols against Houston. Huge jump.
Easy stolen base.
Stolen base number 27. Just a huge jump. And no chance at all or any reason for Castro to throw the ball. Now they're going to walk Albert. Crone, his last at bat, hit a double to right center field.
And there's ball 4. So Crone will get an opportunity here. 2 on, 1 out. 6-6 game here in the 9th. Escobar with a 2-run home run off of Giles. Tie this one up. Two for 4. 2 doubles, an RBI. Both doubles out toward right center field. It's a breaking pitch. There's no balls in the strike. Go ahead run and Trout standing at second. Rizek very shallow at center. Crone making up his mind. He's hacking. With breaking balls in the dirt.
One of them straight down in, not close to the strike zone. Now I got to try to shorten up that swing, punch that ball in the right field.
Springer playing shallow and right as well. The only deep one in the outfield is Hernandez in left. .21 pitches for Giles. It all started a leadoff single by Pennington. Now the 0-2. Gets another one. This one misses off the plate. 1-2.
This pitch just a little bit off the outside corner. That's the pitch he tried to throw, or wanted to try to throw to Escobar, but it drifted out over the plate.
Shoots fastball foul.
Well, as you watch Giles go in the stretch position, goes into set position, he's not looked back at Trout yet. You always talk about varying your look back to second. Trout can get a huge jump and steal third.
Little flare out the shallow center field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Trout got a great read on it. He's going to come in to score, and the Angels lead it 7-6. C.J. Crone with his third hit of the night picks up his second RBI.
I love that energy Trout just brought in there. He's able to score, read that one well, slides in, points over to C.J. Crone for a good at bat just to fight off a tough pitch and flare it in for the go-ahead single. Break a ball down again, just trying to make contact. And Trout with just a great read and jump on this one. Looks back, knows that's going to fall in there nicely in the center field, but I love what you saw from Trout as he slides in, points down at C.J. Crone, saying good job as far as getting the job done, putting that ball in play.
So Giles has allowed 3 runs here in the 9th inning. 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 was intentional. You talk about a perfectly placed base hit by C.J. Crone, because Marisnick was playing about as shallow as you can in center field. And a great read by Trout.
And a 3-hit game for Crone. He reads it, gets a secondary lead, takes a quick look, knows that's down, cuts that angle, and slides in with the go-ahead run. But I love that energy he brought right away, pointing down at Crone.
Andrelton Simmons will bat with 1 out, 2 on. Simmons tonight 0 for 4.
2 more runs scored for Trout, 2 more walks tonight for Trout.
Andrelton looked like he went around, and he did. Jim Joyce, the crew chief and first base umpire, rings him up. Springer still very shallow in right field. Pujols, the base runner at second. Crone at first. One. 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left on for the Angels. 6 hits, 8 runs, 5 left on for Houston. The Astros, looking ahead at the bottom of the 9th, will have 9, 1, and 2 due up. Hernandez, Springer, and Gurriel. Lays off, and it's a wild pitch. That helps with Albert moving to third and Crone to second.
It's been some crazy innings the last few innings of this game for both sides now. Overthrown break a ball right on the plate, very difficult, especially with the spin of a break a ball when it hits that plate. Not a whole lot you can do as a catcher. Just hope somehow it stays close enough that there's no advancement of the runner. Not the case. infield in now, and understandably so for the Astros.
2-1. Off the plate, 3-1. Chili Bus is on deck.
I hear you.
Breaking ball, and that is in there for a strike at the top part of the zone. Full count. Upstairs, and he walked him. Third walk of the inning, and they're loaded up. A.J. Hinch couldn't come out of that dugout fast enough. By the time Castro had caught the ball, he was halfway and already pointing.
That was extremely quick.
A pitching change here in the ninth. The Angels have scored 3, looking for more with only 1 out. Halos lead at 7-6. Three runs in and still looking for more. They've got them loaded with 1 out. The Astros, as we look at the wild card standings, had a nice little lead coming into this 9th inning, with the Angels trying to make it 2 in a row against the Astros. Toronto won today. Tigers also won. Baltimore just won. Mark Trumbo with a walk-off blast at Houston, needing a victory as the slim hopes as far as the postseason start to slip away. Michael Phillies takes over on the mound here. 47th game, 8-1 record, a 4.48 ERA. And he was up early in this game.
And that's what you got to wonder now. If you're Nick Bus, should we say Chili Bus, you got to look fastball right here and do some damage right away. That arm can't be as fresh now after warming up so early in the game. See that pitch well overthrown into the dirt. It's blocked by Castro. It's unusual for the Astros. Since May 1st, ERA in the American League, 3.06, best in that category as far as bullpen ERA since May 1st.
2 balls and no strikes. Nick with a double, 2 walks and a ground down, 2 runs batted in. Infield in. Pujols at third, Crone at second, Simmons at first. Fouled off, at least with a good live fastball. He pitched last night. 1 inning, 1 hit. strike on the outside part of the plate. Seattle, by the way, all of a sudden opening it up on Minnesota. It's 10-1 now. They're in the 7th at Target Field.
And we put Minnesota in position to lose game number 99 this season for the Twins after all that excitement, what they did the year before, almost made the playoffs.
Downstairs, full count. Juan Gratterall is on deck. Three walks in the inning. One intentional, now was to Pujols. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Bus, foul tips that one into the mitt. Maybe chase ball 4. He'll go down swinging for round number 2.
Yeah, that fastball had some movement and just a little bit out of the strike zone. Foul tipped, hung on to by Castro behind the plate. Another long at bat, saw quite a few pitches. That one, though, couldn't either foul off or put it in play.
Rafael Ortega is going to pinch hit here for Gratterall. So Bandy will catch the bottom of the 9th.
His first appearance since having that back spasms the other day for Jet Bandy. Looked comfortable hitting batting practice today.
Ortega .210 batting average on the season. As a pinch hitter, he's 3 for 6. Infield now with 2 outs, moves back to normal depth. The first one, pretty good pitch, does not get called, and it's a 1-0 count. Rafi, the 9th man to bat here in the 9th inning. With Pennington, who started off this frame with a single to right, is on deck. Now he's off of Giles. Ended up going a third of an inning. 3 hits, 3 walks for Giles. And all 3 runs charged to him. He's responsible for these base runners. 2-0.
And shows some pretty good patience right now. If you're Ortega, you're going to get a fastball the next pitch also.
.3-0. That's off the plate. You're taking 2 now, you would think. Because at worst, you get a full count and you get the base runners on the move. Add a little more stress to it. And there's a strike. Oh, you talk about borderline. At best,
yeah, it looks like it barely touched the upper part of the strike zone, the corner Fox tracks. See, just touching it in that upper corner. Still, you have to really have some patience here. Don't help him out.
3-1. Ortega fouls it back, full count, good rip at a fastball.
And that was a good pitch to drive. That's a pitch Ortega hit very well the other way. Big moment right here now for Ortega and the Angels to try to add on and separate, take the crowd out of the game with a walk, base hit.
Runners go, 3-2, and Ortega will lift one out to shallow center field. Correa going out and dives, can't make the play. 2 runs in, here comes Simmons, and the bases are cleared. On a double by Rafael Ortega. What an effort by Carlos Correa.
And a smile from Ortega as it flares that one in. A couple real good sand wedges in this inning for Halo hitters. And a lot of smiles in that dugout. Great effort, though, by Correa. I don't even know how he even got close to this baseball. The dive, as soon as the baseball and the glove and hits the ground, falls out of the glove. The contact with the ground knocked that baseball out. It's Correa. Looks like he's banged up a little bit. Full extension on there, especially with that shoulder.
That is a 3 RBI double. That goes 120, 130 feet.
Boy, the nature boy would be real proud of these couple swings in this inning.
Correa has been all over the field tonight.
Remember that dive on the backhand dive and that line drive by Cole Calhoun. This one on the glove side diving.
All 6 runs, sorry Gooby, in this inning charged to Giles.
Doesn't look real comfortable there. Hopefully he's okay.
You wonder if he jarred the neck area with that dive. He's going to be taken off here. What a game he has had defensively and offensively. He's hit the ball well. Go back and take a look at this play. The distance that he had to cover.
That's an unbelievable effort. And only because he hit the ground did that baseball jar out of the glove.
Marwin Gonzalez, it looks like, is going to move from first over to a shortstop. And A.J. Reed taking over at first base. So the Halos still batting here. They've batted around, 6 runs in. 10-6 in the 9th. Cliff Pennington, once we resume here, will come up for his second plate appearance of this inning. He started off with a single to right field off of Giles.
And with the 4-run lead for the Angels right now, he has a chance to pick up his first major league W.
That's right.
And a ground ball double play.
What an improbable inning for the Angels. This after they had their own meltdown pitching wise in the 6th inning. Houston scored 5. Pennington takes low. Stunned. Pretty much the word used in this ballpark.
Loving those smiles in that Angel dugout though.
Pennington 1 for 4. He'll foul this one back.
Another pretty good swing. That last at bat had a real good swing on the fastball. Got the rally started.
One ball, 2 strikes. Pennington will go down swinging, but the Angels had 10 men to the plate. It was Yunel Escobar that got the Angels scoring started with a 2-run blast to tie it up, and then the Angels offense opened it up from there.
Boy, a nice swing on that breaking ball. Stayed in the middle of the plate, hits it out to left. Number 5 in the season.
They will hand the ball off here to J.C. Ramirez to try to finish this one off. It's obviously a non-save situation. 40th game, 1-1 record, a 2.98 ERA. He'll be throwing to new catchers. Jeff Bandy hasn't played in a couple of games. Is behind the dish. New left fielder too is Shane Robinson. Hernandez, Springer, and Gurriel for the Astros here in the ninth. Two and one. Three balls and a strike. They come into the game up 10-6. You got to come in and throw strikes. They're trying to paint on the corners, not messing around, especially with the top of the order coming around.
Yeah, you don't want to have any opportunity for Altuve to come up here in this inning with anybody on base.
Ramirez has it on to first, one down.
And that's the thing about Ramirez. He has a very good power sinking fastball. 94, 97, even 98 range, lower part of the strike zone. Get a lot of easy, quick outs with that pitch. Just trust it, start in the middle of the plate, and trust his sink action.
Springer, one around. No balls and a strike.
And trust middle part of the plate, think down in the strike zone.
Two on. Ground ball over to third. Escobar's got it. Two down. So two outs. Nobody on it. Gurriel coming to the plate. Just missed low. Gurriel 1 for 3, had a single with a run scored in the 6th inning, walked in the 7th. Ground ball over to third. This should do it. Escobar has it across the diamond. Light that baby up as the Angels come from behind, score 6 in the 9th, and take game 2 by the final of 10-6. And congratulations to Cody Ege on his first big league win.
The Kingsman picks up a W for the Halos tonight. What a comeback today. A devastating loss for the Astros. They try to stay afloat in that wild card race, especially with the teams ahead of them winning the games. Very difficult one, but credit, Escobar to get it going. Trout.